just to, we have a quick backstory and kind of part of another reason why we're doing this movie. Christopher and I were at an establishment nearby my house. I'd say within a mile and a half.
Of the few places that are at Lottawa.
Yes, there's only a few. And we actually not only met, but actually spoke with one of the insurrectionists. He was there. He had video footage. He had pictures. He had just driven there. He'd driven back 20 hours from D.C. To work a shift.
Just in case you're listening to this in, like, April of 2024. What we're talking about, there was just a insurrection on the Capitol building. It's fresh in our minds, but just in case, you know, you're Calvin and you're finally getting around to listening to this
There were a couple
episode.
people who thought a couple of things that weren't true and then decided they wanted to do something about it.
Yeah, there was just a full-on mass break-in, we'll call it, which is not even, that's, you know.
I don't think people will forget the storming of the Capitol pretty quickly.
Nah.
That's what we're...
Yeah, that's what we're referring to.
So we were hanging out at a bar. And
Chris and Rob,
and the bar back... We're just making, I mean, he had the...
First of all, just so you know, whatever you're picturing, what this person looks like and sounds like and acts like, you're correct.
Yeah. Well, they had a Make America Great Again hoodie on.
It was signed.
And it was like a nicer, like embroidered version of it than like a typical hoodie.
Oh, he spent at least $50 on that hoodie.
And I haven't been that up close and personal with a lot of Make America Great Again merch, but I didn't expect it to be...
It's quality.
It was a high-quality hoodie.
I will say that Donald Trump, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, he does sell tight merch.
Tight merch. Yeah, keeping it real tight. But
from the picture you guys sent me, it did look like a nice hoodie.
No, it's a nice hoodie.
But it looked like embroidered. I could tell from the picture.
Yeah. Well, and you could tell also that he knew, like, after the last 4 years, he was like, I want to get something to really commemorate these 4 years. An oversized red hoodie with an embroidered signature of Donald J. Trump sounds perfect.
Yeah, well, and also...
There was an embroidered signature?
There was an embroidered signature on the pocket. And
oh, great.
I noticed which it comes back later, the pocket was ripped.
Oh, Jesus, I didn't notice that.
I told you that's why I wanted to get the picture, because the pocket was ripped. When it got ripped by a police officer at the Capitol.
Oh, okay, there you go, Capitol police officer.
Yeah, and he said that...
he didn't make that hoodie great again.
No, he didn't make that. And he said he...
I don't know, though. I kind of think that makes it more of a nice keepsake for him, because it's kind of like when you get a player's jersey that's game worn. Yeah, it's all sweaty and nasty, but it's cool because the player was wearing it. You know, he got it damaged in the Donnybrook, let's say, that was happening.
He said that there was still pepper spray in it, so he kept wiping his face with it and getting repeppered.
He's got to commemorate. He's got to frame it, man. Put it up in his house.
What a piece of shit.
I would want, if I were him, I would want the first thing that people see when they open the door to my house is that fucking sweater.
Yeah, like you're saying, you hang it up like a jersey, a game-worn jersey or something like that.
But yeah.
You know?
To be fair, I was jealous. He had on his mask coverage, which he did use.
Sort of.
But it was a Shinerbach gator.
Actually,
and I was actually kind of jealous of the gator. I was like, I could do without the hoodie, but that gator.
Given his proclivities towards face masks, he did do a much better job than I expected him to.
Oh yeah,
he didn't. It was on about half the time. But hey, man, I expected a lot less.
Yeah, I thought it was total bullshit until he.
Oh, I thought he was full of shit too.
So
but video, video or nothing.
Yeah, here's my question for you guys. As someone that wasn't there, and I'm guessing Rob was slightly drunk because he's just texting me all of a sudden. He's like, dude, we're incognito right now. We infiltrated a Trump bar is what you texted me.
We did. There was a lot of Trump people there. And I have to tell you, man, I didn't necessarily be like say anything like that. I try to say something they would say. I just didn't disagree with them after they spoke.
Yeah, just let them keep talking themselves down the hole. But how?
We didn't get Facebook, Rob.
No.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Oh, and Facebook Rob has been going fucking ham.
We didn't get Facebook.
Oh
Rob.
my god. Keyboard warrior Rob got blocked by a guy who we've had. We'll call him Troy Downey. He
just as a random.
Just out of that random. We'll call him Troy Downey. We got into. We've been in. I'd say one or two kerfuffles about politics over the last 4 years, and we've said some things to each other. I've been fairly civil. He's said some pretty nasty shit, but he blocked me because I
stirred the pot.
Oh yeah, no.
Tremendously
I'm not sitting here
pot.
saying I didn't do what I maybe deserve it. I 100% get it. I was a dick, but in a pretty pleasant way. I made a donation to the Black Lives Matter movement in the name of Troy Downey and another guy who's a big Trump guy, and I posted it on Facebook and tagged him in it, and then he blocked me.
and he didn't like that as much.
He was not one bit happy about it.
That's a good thing to do, though. That's a good way to get somebody like that. But getting back to the Trump bar that you guys were at.
And I wouldn't say it was a Trump bar. It didn't start out that way, but then
there was a lot of people with Trump. I bet a lot of people like Trump at that bar.
Well, I think it's mainly the location that attract that. But.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Good old Lottawanna, man. Can't wait for the summer and the Jocos,
Yeah.
all the fun. But how did this guy was he like going around the bar like I was at the Capitol, or like how did you guys?
No,
Chris, did you bring it up?
No, I go. He was like right in front of us, and actually, to be fair, we were sitting there for a very long time after we ordered beer without getting it, and I could see the beer.
Oh, that was right. We got there. We waited 20 minutes before anyone was like, "Oh, you guys want something to drink?" We were sitting at the bar.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
20
great.
minutes passed. Like, "Oh, do you guys want something?"
Yeah, so I was like, hey, and I was just trying to make like a conversation to just generate, just so somebody would know we're here. So I think I just like said hi to the guy, say, hey, how's it going? And he just goes, oh, I'm really sore.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it was one of those, like, you didn't have to reach that hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
know
he
what I
was.
mean?
Oh no, you're right. He was absolutely just waiting for someone to even mention his sweater, so he'd be like, "I was there."
Yeah, no, and then he was, and
was there,
and
brother.
There was like 2 follow-up questions before he was like, "Oh no, I was inside the Capitol," and I was like, "Ah, bullshit."
And then we couldn't get him to. Well, and once Pandora came out of the box, it was not going back in. We couldn't get him to shut the fuck up after that.
To be fair, we were feeding into.
Oh, we weren't being like we were definitely acting like we want to hear more because we obviously wanted to hear more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It got more sad as it went on, though.
Yeah, it was pretty. I still totally worth it. It was a wild. It was a wild. He was up in a fucking tree he was climbing a fucking tree.
He was inside. He said he was inside the Capitol, and we've got video evidence of this, smoking a joint.
Yep.
With he didn't say. He just said he had his pistol on him the entire time.
Yeah, he did mention he was armed, but I always thought that was just kind of
What?
implied. Yeah,
I didn't hear this part of the
he meant
story.
He was armed.
Yeah, he was armed.
Well, and smoking a joint in the Capitol
Which-
too. That's that's a pretty baller move. I'll say
I was
that.
the one
I'll
thing.
give him that.
That is kind of
If
cool.
that's what you want to call it, that's okay.
I don't agree with anything that got him there or anything like that, But if I'm on a tour of the Capitol and I got a little Jaybird and I sneak it in, and I can get to the bathroom,
If
that's
I've already
pretty cool.
if I've already gone that far and I'm an insurgent inside a federal building, smoking a joint's fine. I'm gonna go crazy though. I'm gonna pull my dick out. I'm gonna take a shit on something.
Jesus
I'm just gonna go
Christ.
crazy.
Raging Rob in the Capitol.
You've already committed a felony.
Yeah, Facebook Rob is going to come full bore
Yeah.
inside the Capitol.
You may as well go full send on the situation. You've already committed a felony. You may as well shit on something.
He did. He smoked a joint in one of the trees outside, as he showed too. So he climbed one of the trees, and he was scanning around, and there was like other Trumpers.
Well, yeah,
I will just
well,
say,
one
in
or
the
two,
trees.
one or two.
Yeah, in the trees with him, and they were just.
So he lives here, obviously, in the middle of the country, and he just decided,
Well, his boss.
I'm going to answer the cry.
This is why I think it's a Trump bar, because my boss was like, I'm going to the Capitol. He's like, do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I want to go. So then they impromptu drove 20 hours to D.C. and
they drove so they could have their pistols with them
see,
and
I
not
just
worry about airport. And you're not allowed to carry
that's true.
anywhere near the Capitol.
I was just thinking. I thought it was a total Trump thing to just drive. Like, yeah, brother, we're going. Well, what did you buy plane tickets? No, we can drive it. It's like Jesus Christ.
No,
it's
he-
20
Let's
hours
go
drive.
right fucking
specifically
now.
He specifically said what it was, which actually, not to get too into it, but everybody was like, "Oh, why didn't?" Initially, my reaction was, "How come the cops didn't shoot more people?"
I think a lot of people had that same
really bad,
reaction.
But then I thought about it one step further after hearing that guy.
Some people would argue if they had been BLM protesters, they may have shot a few more people. That argument's
No,
been made.
I think if they would have fired, hearing this guy, if they would have fired into the crowd, the crowd would have fired back.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? I think it kept it de-escalated by not having more people.
That's a good angle.
shoot.
I didn't think about that, Chris. You're right, because if they did shoot one woman, a veteran, and it's terrible and very sad. Even though I didn't agree with her political beliefs, it still was very sad that and 5 people died. A police Capitol officer died. That was all very sad, very tragic, horrible. But I think you're right. I think they figured if they start shooting these people have weapons for sure.
I'm guessing that if thinking of it further, the smart thing to do would be de-escalate, but don't shoot at them because
I don't know if de-escalate so much as just try to manage it, because that was not getting de-escalated.
Yeah.
It was not. Let's just keep it at an escalated, but not more escalated.
Well, and he says, "Well, I was ready to shoot back if they shot at me because if I was going to be taken out, I was going to take one of them." I got a 3-year-old daughter, you know?
Oh, that's right. I remember he said that. I was like,
Yeah, he
I
said
looked
that.
at Chris and I was like, did he just say what I think he said? I was like,
Yeah,
he said if he got shot, he was going to shoot back because he has a 3-year-old daughter. I'm like, oh, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So his angle was guns. His whole thing was guns. He thought that
Yeah.
people were going to take his guns, and that upset him so much that he did, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
hot
and-
damn, man. It sounds like you guys had quite the Sunday night or whatever fucking night that was.
What? No, it was Saturday night.
Saturday
Saturday
night.
night.
Saturday night. Yeah, it was the first time I've been out in months, and I got to tell you, since I've already had the vid, I was like, let's give it a shot, and totally worth it. It was awesome.
Totally worth
It actually was it was a really interesting.
Yeah, I imagine so.
experience.
It sounds like quite the time.